Hey, this is Dave with the Prepper Bookshelf, and today I want to tell you a little bit about, to review the book Patriots, a novel of survival and the coming collapse by James Wesley Rawls. Now, if you're a prepper, know anything about prepping, you're probably familiar with Mr. Rawls and his website, survivalblog.com, and his book Patriots is one of his first novels. He's got several books in the series, and they're pretty good. As far as if you look at it from the concept as he was trying to make a fiction book, but also a how-to manual at the same time, and that's not very easy. And so one of the things that as far as looking at a fiction book, I have a problem with is some of the plot is just a little bit unrealistic, as far as, here's a bunch of guys who got together in college, and then they all go out into the world, and they all become ultimately successful in their fields. You look at the military guy. He does a 4-year stint in the military, and he goes to all these top tier schools, sniper school and recon school and Halo and all sorts of these things that, it might take 15, 20 years for a normal soldier or Marine to go to all those schools. But as far as being a how-to manual, that was needed in order to be able to pass off some of the skills that it was talking about, and just like in talking about the retreat and how they set up their retreat, and some of the improvised explosive devices they use for perimeter security. In order to be a fiction book, he had to figure out a way to convince the reader that somebody was able to talk somebody into buying explosives on their license and teaching somebody, how to use all this stuff. Now, in real world, nobody with a blaster license is going to let, somebody they just met order explosives on their account, right? But without those sort of plot things, this book wouldn't be able to do what it did. And like I said, it's a pretty good fiction book as far as reading it. I enjoyed reading the book. It gave me lots of things to think about, and as a training manual, it's not too bad. Like I said, it gave me lots of stuff to think about. But if you want it to be the best of both worlds, it's not really the best of both worlds, but it was definitely worth the $14.95 I spent on it, and the time that I spent reading it. And at some point I'll probably read it again. Which, to me, if a book is good enough to read more than once, then obviously I think it's a pretty decent book. So there you go, Patriots, a novel of survival and the coming collapse. And I didn't show any pictures of the actual book because there are no pictures in the book. It's just a bunch of text, and it's about 400 or so pages, and it does have, as Rawls is known to do, in the back a glossary of all the different military and prepper terms that he talks about. So there you go, pretty good book, worth the read. And until next time, you can always catch us online, www.prepperbookshelf.com.